Howdy folks, it's the Creepy Kentuckian here with you from DEADPIT Radio. Today we have a very interesting, eclectic kind of review for you guys. A silent film, right? A silent film from 1927. This one happens to be one of the very early Universal horror pictures. I saw recently that our friends over at Eureka Entertainment was bringing this out on Blu-Ray Disc for the very first time. And Eureka, of course, is starting this brand new division here in the United States. So this is one of the early titles. We're getting to take a look at it today. It's not in our wheelhouse typically, but hey, we are going to take a look at The Cat and the Canary from 1927, one of the very last horror films before talkies became popular. So without further ado, boys, let's get in to The Cat and the Canary. In The Cat and the Canary, it revolves around a decrepit mansion in York where millionaire Cyrus West is nearing the end of his life. His greedy family members are lurking around him, much like a cat and a canary. Wes orders that his last will and testament be locked in a safe for over 20 years. So 20 years later, a party of guests are gathered at the mansion to see who gets the ownership of the millionaire's estate. Annabelle, the only heir left with his surname, is granted the owner of the estate under one condition: she is deemed sane. If not, the fortune will go to a name in the second envelope. Tensions in the house rise when they are informed that her murderer, nicknamed the Cat, has escaped from a nearby asylum and is suspected to be somewhere on the grounds. One by one, parties disappear in the house, which proves to be just a series of horrifying events that'll punctuate a long, dark night of terror during which Annabelle's sanity will be called into question, of course. Alright guys, so The Cat and the Canary from 1927. Now this is typically not a movie that we would review. As a matter of fact, when they sent us the press release on this, I was just automatically thinking it was the remake from like 10 years later with Bob Hope. But no, this movie was remade a couple of times. It was in the 30s and later in the 70s, the most recent one. Also influenced James Whale's The Old Dark House, which was like 10 years after this as well. So this is one of the early ones where, you know, a group is inside this massive house, which could be haunted. There could be a killer, you know. There's all kinds of different circumstances in a variety of different movies. And this one's pretty good. I mean, for a silent movie, it definitely has some memorable visuals in it. Now, the way that they did the silent movies in some of the bigger cities, they would have composed music prepared for a pianist who would be playing the music. In this one, they do have some newly composed music from some of the original sheets that they used back in the 20s for the movie theaters. Now, if you're in a smaller town, you just watched it completely in silence, which I honestly think works better for The Cat and the Canary. There's just a certain thing about silent movies. They're kind of creepy anyway, like the visuals in them. And there's a lot of visuals in this movie that is pretty disturbing, to say the least. Now, this just isn't my sort of thing. I'm not a gigantic fan of silent movies. Nosferatu I own. Vampire I think is one that I own. But yeah, I mean, this is just not in my lexicon, if you will, of horror knowledge. But it was very cool to check this one out. Now, The transfer on this thing is actually really, really great for a movie that's nearly 100 years old. It actually looks really, really good. So I was kind of surprised by that, taken aback by that. Now, if you're a gigantic fan of this movie, you'll be very excited to see this in HD for the very first time. Now, I don't know how vast the difference would be from the DVD. It is a silent movie. However, it does look amazing in this new transfer from Eureka. Universal Pictures, 1927. You know, there's a couple of movies I can think of, horror movies that were before this. The Hunchback of Notre Dame from 23, and of course 1925's Phantom of the Opera, the original. But this one is right up there, guys. 1927, very early horror film from Universal Pictures. It is out now. Eureka Home Entertainment does have this one out with a ton of extras as well. We're going to go through those. Lucky Strike Paul Linney gives a full-throated endorsement to the product that got him through filming The Cat and the Canary, which happened to be Lucky Strike cigarettes. Those were filterless cigarettes. Final package includes a collector's booklet with new writing on the film by Richard Combs, Craig Ian Mann, and Imogene Sarah Smith. Fong Lee on The Cat and the Canary, a brand new interview with film critic Fong Lee. There are excerpts from John Willard's original play. Brand new audio commentary by Kevin Lyons and Jonathan Rigby. Mysteries Mean Dark Corners, a brand new video essay by David Carnes and Fiona Watson. Pamela Hutchinson on The Cat and the Canary, a brand new interview with the writer and film critic Pamela Hutchinson. Brand new audio commentary by Stephen Jones and author-critic Kim Newman. This does come in a limited edition oak hard slip case featuring new artwork by the legendary Graham Humphreys. And DTS Master Audio 5.1 scored by Robert Israel, compiled, synchronized, and edited by Jillian B. Anderson based on musical cue sheets, compiled and issued for the original 1927 release. So if you are into this sort of thing, this release of Cat and the Canary is for you. Check it out. It is out now. Be sure to check us out. We're over at DEADPIT.com. Definitely like the video. Follow us on Instagram and all that good stuff as well at Into the Dead Pits. And we will catch you guys next time.
Thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like. Subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a fuck.
I want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last South on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.
We ain't never gonna change. We ain't